So with San Diego Comic-Con now out of the way for another year, the entertainment industry is going to turn its attention on over to D23 Expo at the end of August. So let's dive into what we can expect to be announced from Disney, Pixar, Marvel and Lucasfilm at the Expo. Up next. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is of course DSNY Newscast. I just want to give a quick reminder that at the end of August we're going to be covering D23 Expo extensively here on DSNY Newscast. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe down below and also turn notifications on by hitting the bell icon on YouTube. But anyways, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into the topic. As the biannual D23 Expo will be taking place from August 23rd to August 25th. And despite the Expo being devoted to celebrating the many fandoms that incorporate the Walt Disney Company, the Expo also marks a big moment in the calendar for the entertainment industry. As with Disney growing even larger since the last biannual D23 event in 2017, with the acquisition of 21st Century Fox, it's becoming even harder to argue that D23 Expo isn't as important as San Diego Comic-Con for major movie announcements. As after all, in this year alone, in 2019, Disney has the top 5 highest grossing movies of the year, with the company already accumulating $7.6 billion in global box office ticket sales. So Disney's winning strategy of brilliant storytelling coupled with multi-genre movie franchises has definitely had an indelible influence on the rest of Hollywood. However, if you're also interested, D23 Expo is where we learn all about the other new big projects coming to Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and also the parks around the world, which I previously covered in a predictions video which can be found in the description box or in the top right hand corner here. So let's start off with animation, and since this is the D23 Expo and that D does stand for Disney after all, let's begin with Walt Disney Animation Studios, as their upcoming movie slate is relatively simple, with Frozen 2 coming out on November 22nd of this year, and then they have 3 release slots after that, all within the Thanksgiving period. Now I'm pretty certain that we'll at least learn about the movies that will fill the November 25th, 2020 slot, and also the November 24th, 2021 release date, as Disney don't have another big event between now and then to announce these titles and gain some mainstream media attention. However, coming back to the November 25th, 2020 release, as the only animated feature that we know that has been rumoured to be in some stage of development at Disney is a movie with a working title of Dragon Empire, and it's said to be set around a female protagonist called Jan Nin and a 900-year-old male mentor called Bolin. Now this is exciting as it sees Disney returning to completely original storytelling, which will explore a relatively untouched mythology for Disney animation that has proved to be relevant in pop culture recently with the DreamWorks franchise of How to Train Your Dragon and HBO's Game of Thrones. However, for the other 2 release dates, I predict that we might see an official announcement of a sequel to the extremely popular Zootopia from 2016, as the directors of that movie have previously expressed interest in new narratives that they would like to tackle within the world of Zootopia. And in addition to this, I also expect that we'll get a preview of at least some of the music from Frozen 2, and maybe learn even more about the mysterious adventure that Elsa will have to embark upon in this sequel. Anyways, that's not the only animation news that we're going to get, as we're also going to have news regarding Pixar Animation Studios as well. As we already know that we'll be receiving Onward on March 6, 2020, which is the suburban fantasy adventure starring Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, Octavia Spencer and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And then we are also definitely going to finally get a sneak peek at Pete Docter's new movie called Soul. That sinks to answer the question of where your passion, your dreams and your interests come from, and what makes you, you. However, it will be interesting to see some character design and details for this movie, as it's supposedly going to take audiences from the streets of New York City all the way to the cosmic realms to discover the answers to life's most important questions. And then in terms of the rest of the Pixar movie slate, I expect we'll at least get some vague synopses and working titles for the June 18th, 2021 release, and also maybe the ones in 2022, as apparently the next wave of Pixar movies will mostly be original stories. However, I must say that there has been some talk of sequels to Monsters Inc., Inside Out and even A Bug's Life at some point in the future at Pixar. However, I highly doubt that any of those will be announced at the Expo. And then after animation, we have the big movie slate for Disney's live-action releases. And as you can see, it's a pretty stacked release schedule, with the only ones which I think will get some stage time and we'll learn even more about being Mulan, Jungle Cruise and Cruella de Vil. Whereas on the other side of things, we have 7 unannounced titles for release dates through 2023. So let's begin to speculate, as first of all it's pretty much a lock that Disney will make a grand announcement about the live-action Little Mermaid that is set to be directed by Rob Marshall and feature music by Alan Menken and Lin-Manuel Miranda. And in terms of the cast, it's only been confirmed so far that Hailey Bailey will be playing Ariel. Whereas it's also been rumoured that Harry Styles from One Direction fame will be taking on the role of Prince Eric, Javier Bardem might be playing King Triton, and also Melissa McCarthy might be playing the Sea Witch of Ursula, as she alluded to in this Jimmy Kimmel Live interview. And so with this big Disney live-action remake expected to go into its production next January, I would predict that either a March or October 2021 release date would make a lot of sense. However, this is where it all gets very interesting, as continuing to talk about live-action remakes of animated classics, we know that all of these movies here are reportedly in some stage of early development at Disney. And my prediction is that some of these would make more sense as Disney Plus exclusives, like we're seeing with Lady and the Tramp. So I reckon Lilo and Stitch, The Sword and the Stone, Peter Pan, Atlantis, and also Treasure Planet might end up as Disney Plus exclusives. Whereas I personally think that Hercules and The Hunchback of Notre Dame have a very good chance of taking one of those 7 release slots from 2021 to 2023. And we also know that Jon Favreau is very open to creating a sequel to 2016's The Jungle Book, exploring even more of Kipling's source material. But that probably won't be until at least 2022, if not 2023. Now the wild card out of all of this is definitely Indiana Jones 5, which is set to be directed by Steven Spielberg, with Harrison Ford reprising his iconic role. And it's recently been reported that production is set to begin in April 2020, with Disney aiming at a July 9th, 2021 release date. So it's fairly logical that Indiana Jones will surely get quite a bit of stage time at the Expo, with maybe even an official title revealed for the sequel. And lastly, we'll get some news regarding Marvel Studios and also Lucasfilm. As first of all, Marvel revealed most of their Phase 4 movie slate at the San Diego Comic-Con in July, which only takes us up to 2021 with the release of Thor: Love and Thunder on November 5th. But there is actually 3 more release dates which have not yet been detailed, with 2022 set to be another big year for Marvel with 3 theatrical releases once again. Now, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige did state at the end of the Comic-Con presentation that there wasn't enough time to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or the sequels to Black Panther and Captain Marvel. So I think it's pretty logical that we'll get release dates for these movies. And I predict that Black Panther 2 will most likely get the February 18th, 2022 release date, as it positions it within Black History Month once again, like the original did back in 2018. And then because of James Gunn's obligations to direct Suicide Squad 2, production is not going to start on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 until 2020. So I expect that the 3rd installment, Guardians of the Galaxy, will be released on May 6, 2022. And then that leaves us with Captain Marvel 2, which I think would be a natural fit for July 29th, 2022. However, don't forget that Marvel has also teased reboots for Fantastic Four and also Blade, with these most likely being rumoured to be included as part of Phase 5, which will probably begin in 2023. And then lastly, at D23 Expo, it's pretty much a certainty that we'll get even more details about Star Wars Episode 9 Rise of Skywalker. As with it hitting theatres on December 19th this year, we might even get a full trailer released for the movie the following week, as is tradition for a September trailer release for a December Star Wars movie. But here's the thing, as I don't think we'll get any info regarding the trilogy series that's being worked on by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, as those release dates are too far out, and Lucasfilm has 2 Star Wars celebrations between now and then to announce some details regarding this brand new trilogy series. But anyways, there you have it, a full rundown and my predictions of what we can expect to be announced at D23 Expo for Disney, Pixar, Marvel and Star Wars. And now I guess that the only thing that we've got left to do is count down the days until August 23rd, 2019. But now, it's over to you, Waltons, as I would like to know, out of everything that you've heard discussed in this predictions video regarding Disney, Pixar, Disney Live Action, Marvel and Lucasfilm, what are you most excited for Disney to maybe announce at the Expo, and also the reason why. And also don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere within this video, along with your suggestion or your comment, to be in with a chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Walton here for winning this suggestion from the previous video, where we were talking all about our predictions for the Disney Parks panel at D23 Expo this year. And so that's it for today, so go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel, hit that notification icon so that you always receive an update whenever we release new videos, which is usually on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And I know we've been slightly off schedule as of recently because of these D23 predictions videos, but don't worry, we'll be getting back onto schedule shortly. And also, if you've enjoyed today's video, give this video a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.